This giant bead pool made me so excited I couldn't sleep. And before I left, I was sweaty, pulling a stranger out of it and celebrating one tiny avocado with a family I never met. I went to Hendry's Pastel exhibition in New York. And instead of the usual exhibitions that you look around, you can actually climb into this enormous bead pool, collect what you like, and make bracelets or these long necklaces out of them. And of course, I wanted to go. But right before I got in, I was like, is this going to feel a little bit ridiculous? The exhibition provided buckets like these. But some visitors had prepared a completely different tool set. They had brought their own gloves and also like little shovels. And because they would give out these almost like treasure hunting maps on like how rare these beads actually are. It was very, very organized treasure hunt. And everyone was having like the best time ever. I really, really loved it. And that was all like the permission I really needed to like go all in, roll up my sleeves and just grab a bucket and then dive in. I kept reaching for these transparent beads that look like little gummy bears. And then there's also these very cute smiley faces and also, okay, turn around, like balloon dogs. And these were my favorites. At one point, I heard a mom asking her daughter to find an avocado-shaped bead. And the second I heard avocado, apparently this became a mission too. And somehow I spotted one. And then I handed the first one I found to her, and she was like, "Oh my God, thank you." Then she gave her daughter a high five. I had known them for exactly 0 minutes, and suddenly I was on their team searching for these beads as well. And then later, I saw another woman, similar like me. She went by herself. She was stuck trying to get out of the pool. So I just actually, handed her my hand, pulled her up, and then she said, "Oh, thank you." And then the next second, we went right back in to, dig the beads because we have around like 40 minutes for each session. Everybody was like sweating so into it, digging and then getting ridiculously happy whenever, they found something that they like. It just almost felt like a playground where all the adults had suddenly decided to play properly and go all in. And I didn't stop when I left. When I brought the whole bucket back home, like after dinner, I just poured the whole bucket on my table, and I was like, okay, separating the beads into little piles by colors, just like what we would do when we were kids. And I spent an hour making this bracelets. Okay, I had all my transparent gummy, candy beads, like smiley faces, balloon dogs, all spread out in front of me, and started deciding, which bracelets I wanted to give to my friends. So, a lot of times you can watch somebody play a sport or, admire someone else's, painting. But it gets really different when you can actually be the one who's actually holding the racket, who's actually making the mess yourself. And I really, really miss this feeling. When you're inside the moment, you might look a little less polished, but you're probably having like the time of your life and really gaining most from the experience. And the only awkward part was, right before I got in, I had this little hesitation, but afterwards it was totally irrelevant. So, next time when something I have like a slight interest in looks fun, I'm skipping the part of where I wonder whether this looks ridiculous. I'm grabbing a bucket. I'm just gonna dive right in. And there might be another avocado in there.